Hello there, Qckslvrslash, and today I got finally bit by the plague, and I've been fighting it a little bit, so if my voice sounds a little off or you hear me sniffle here or there, I'm trying to do my best, but I still want to get a video out, and it means battling through this. And for today's video, I'm going to do a how I play, and this time it's going to be the Japanese destroyer, the Fubuki. Now, the Japanese destroyer line is about to change eventually. I think 0.15 is when the line is supposed to split, and the Fubuki is going to become a tier 6, but for now, it's the tier 8 Japanese destroyer. And as far as her setup with the captain goes, I've gone with basics of fire training, last stand, superintendent, and I've gone with survivability just for the hit point pool. I find quite often I can get hit down pretty hard, and later on, once I have a concealment skill, I may lose that simply because I shouldn't be getting detected, but for now I've kept it to just help bolster a ship. Now, one of the other things I've done, you notice I've unlocked the Sea Hull, but I choose not to run it, and that's because while you do get a little better AA, you give up a gun, and only having 2 guns on this ship really puts it at a disadvantage if you do have to get into a gunfight. And surprisingly, these things aren't too bad if you can keep yourself at range and just bombard battleships and cruisers. You're gonna get fires. Finally, I've only got a couple modules in this ship, and it's really just a credit limit. I can't afford to put full equipment into every single ship I drive, so I've gone with the ones that I feel important, which main armament to just reduce chances of things getting destroyed, damage control 1, and concealment. So that's how I've got her set up, and now let's jump into a battle. And here we are, and it's a game on trap, domination, and a pretty good matchup for me. Only 2 destroyers on the enemy team, and tier 8 maximum, so I should be able to do some work in this battle. And with me spawning down near A, that's where I'm going to run to first, because if I can capture that point, it's big help for my team, and hopefully, if I capture it, it means all these ships over here that are more than likely going to come down this way don't decide to drive all the way through and basically just take forever to get into the fight. So it's kind of one of the, or part of the reasoning behind this choice is if you don't get this cap early, I find a lot of battleships can just end up out of position trying to chase down the cap. Secondly, it's a very open cap, which is a big plus for my torpedoes. It gives me the best arcs to fire at things, and because I've got some pretty long range torpedoes in this, 15 kilometers are the ones I choose to run, you know, you want long straight lines to shoot at. You know, the Americans do really well in the ambush role, particularly until they get the longer range torpedoes. The Japanese are a little better at kind of controlling parts of the map using their torpedoes. You know, you don't always have to hit someone with a torpedo to really have it do a positive effect. And that's something you see in team battles all the time. You're not throwing torpedoes to try to kill things. You're throwing torpedoes to just deny the enemy team access, or at least easy access, to a portion of the map. So far, nothing's really happening though. Now I see A is getting captured, so pretty obvious it's a destroyer, and I do have an Edinburgh with me. So I really want to get this guy spotted, and then let that British cruiser just go to town with those rapid fire AP guns. So odds are it's either a Hatsu or a Benson, and so far I've got no indication of what it could be, though there is a Qckslvrslash there that definitely poses a big threat. So I'm going to start turning off, and I'm actually just going to kind of blindly torp in the direction of that corner, spreading them out because I want to try to scare these guys off. You can see my Edinburgh is smoked up, so I have to be the vision. I cannot afford to use my smoke. That's a common mistake I see a lot of destroyer players make. You really are the eyes for your team. So I'm on radar here, but it's really no big threat. It's Russian radar, it's got really good range, but the duration is kind of crap, and you should see pretty shortly I'm going to be undetected again as it wears off. And you just have to be patient. There it goes. And I'm safe. Well, so long as those shells don't do exactly what they just did. Ooh, managed to get a torpedo into the Chapayev, and I'm getting a little close for comfort. 1 kilometer range on my detection there from that Qckslvrslash, so I'm turning out. The enemy Hatsu is detected, and at this point I'm just going to keep basically circling, trying to get some damage in. I suspect the Chapayev's going to be easily dealt with, so I'm actually going to put a set of torps kind of between these two guys here. And basically the reasoning, I suspect that Qckslvrslash is going to try to double back at some point here for safety. He'll be anticipating torpedoes from me, so I'm playing a bit of a mind game in that I expect him to do something with his courser speed. In this case, it's his speed. You can see he's switched to going astern. But I just have to stay out in front. I'm going to continue to contest this cap, and I'm actually going to leave a smoke here. Letting that friendly player know that, hey, I'm laying smoke for you. If he chooses to use it, hopefully I can at least break contact of my friendly team here and just get back in front and do my job. And I get 2 torpedoes into that Qckslvrslash, and that's really the key to destroyer play, is anticipating what that enemy team is going to do. So if you've got a cruiser that's been driving straight for a while and they know a destroyer is there, you can expect they're going to do something to change course and speed. So rather than just lead where he was going and hope he keeps driving straight, I'm going to swap it up, put the torp somewhere I don't entirely expect him to expect them to be. Right now, just doing my best to keep as much of this enemy team spotted as possible, and once again, I've got to turn out. You can see that last known position of the Qckslvrslash, well within detection range, so when his smoke runs out, I risk being detected. So I'm just going to loop about again, and basically just keep driving circles in front of my team here. I've managed a good chunk of damage already, but that's not my role. Too many people get caught up thinking they've got to do tons of damage in certain roles, when really, you know, your job as destroyer, screen, put smoke up for allies, stay in front so torpedoes don't surprise them, and just keep the spots going. And with the new economy, my understanding is those spots finally do carry some value. I managed to detect torpedoes, and that's exactly what I'm talking about, though that could be the Edinburgh's own hydroacoustic search that found those. But I also got a torpedo into the Colorado, and I really feel so far I've been a big help to my team down here at A. Unfortunately, someone kills my Edinburgh. And that really does hurt, because he can put out a ridiculous amount of damage pretty quickly if need be. I'm still capping A. That Colorado is good as dead. I've got a Fuso and a Colorado coming up, and they're going to be juicy targets for me. I don't know where that enemy destroyer's run off to. I suspect he may be up here trying to get into the backfield, but for the time being, I know I'm safe, as long as I don't let this Colorado spot me. Bit of a misplay there on that turn, but hopefully I can get back out of detection range before they manage to get any shells off. 5.9, come on 6, get back out, back undetected, and I got 3 torpedoes into him. He just drove straight, did nothing, and that's the price he's gonna pay. I've still got my guys back there doing work, supporting me, and I'm just going to keep launching 3 PEDs at these battleships. They're giving me easy shots, and a lot of times, that is what happens. So right here, I've got to decide, what's this Fuso doing? The Colorado is definitely running away. I suspect the Fuso... yeah, it looks like they're turning now. So just watching what this is doing, if it's starting to close the ship, you know they're turning more than likely towards you or slowing up their speed. If it's opening up like that, they're probably turning away or speeding up. And you kind of just have to learn to read that gray box, and rather than shoot right at it, maybe put one set of torps there, but vary it up. So here we can see all my PEDs going in. I'm probably going to get at least one, maybe two if I'm lucky. And I'm up to 100,000 damage. I've managed to just continue contesting this cap, and our team is doing really well. Now, once again, got a North Carolina here. I'm going to smoke. And you can see me typing in chat, just a friendly reminder that, hey, I'm doing this for you, you know, maybe you want to slow up and use it. Because so often you'll see battleships just go charging through it and never really make a good use of those screens, and unfortunately, he didn't drive into mine. That's okay. That's going to happen. So, more PEDs, put them out, and I'm just going to loop around again. And this may not be the most exciting gameplay, but I feel this is how you, A, maximize win rate and really have the best games. You've got to play a supportable. If you go out there and kind of just go, you know what, I'm going to charge a ship, put, 9 torpedoes into a battleship, get 60,000 damage, and walk away and say, I did a good job, well, you didn't. Once again, damage isn't everything. You can see in this one, I've been providing spotting to my team, smoke to my team. I'm just doing everything I can to help keep them safe. And I've still got a lot of damage on the board, but, you have to protect those friendly ships. They're not always going to use your smoke, and maybe they see something that for some other reason they decide, no, I'm not going to use that smoke. And looky here, going to get another torpedo into this Fuso, hopefully getting the kill. Well, not quite. But screw it, I've got guns. Or my flood can finish him off. So now that A is all secured, it's time for me to get up into Bravo, where really the rest of the fight is occurring. You can see our teams pretty much won. They've got a couple Tirpitzes and then a cruiser off to the south, and the cruiser is a Miyoko, so I've got to be a little careful, but at least I know no radar on that ship, and those are the kind of things you have to memorize when you're driving a destroyers. What ships have radar or can run radar, what ships can run hydro, and work around that. Like, obviously firing torpedoes straight at a ship that can run hydroacoustic surge, probably not the best use of your torpedoes. And I suspect maybe not. I was thinking maybe that Qckslvrslash was about to just bull rush the Tirpitz, try to put a full broadsided PEDs in and just call it a game. But it looks like he's going the other route. He's backing off, using his smoke, and he's just going to try to close range shell that Tirpitz. And I think it's pretty safe to say this one's all in the bag. So I really do feel this was a good illustration of how, as a destroyer, you can still get damage on the board, though most of mine was just luck chucking PEDs. I was trying to read what a ship was doing and then just putting torpedoes in a space I felt they could drive into them. But for the most part, providing smoke, providing spots, and the critical move at the start there that so many people fail to see is when you've got two ships, if one of them smokes, the other just has to stay outside of the smoke and remain undetected to be the eyes. So often you'll see two destroyers go rushing into a cap, and both of them will pop smoke and stop in it. Well, you're never going to detect anything like that. So coordinate, particularly if you're in a division, you better be coordinating, that One of you is going to pop their smoke, sit in it. The other is going to just flank, stay outside, and be the vision. And then when the first smoke runs out, the guy who was the vision can pop his smoke, and the other ship is now the spotting vessel. And if you can successfully do that, you're just gonna work better as a team, and you're gonna have better results overall. But for now, let's just jump to the post-battle. I'll edit the rest of this out because I don't suspect anything exciting is about to happen. Post-battle screen, and 275,000 credits, almost 5,000 experience, 111,000 damage over 10 torpedoes, 7 floods, though I didn't get a lot of damage out of the flooding, unfortunately. You kind of need something with you that can light a lot of fires to really cause those floods to do some damage. But as you can see, top of team, 2170 experience, and I think that just validates my point of, being in front, spotting, helping your team, but then just using your torpedoes strategically. And I wish the post-battle stuff was a little bit better, but you can see some of this. 102,000 damage from my spotting. So that is as much damage as I managed, and really just proves the point. Be the eyes. And a lot of that's going to come down to that Edinburgh putting some really good damage out while I spotted for him at the start, and then all the ships that I ended up smoking, but I got back in front, provided the vision for them. I helped cap a point and just defended it the rest of the time, and I felt this was just a really solid all-around destroyer game, and really how I feel they're best played. Everyone's got their own way, and some ways are going to provide better results, and this is the way I have found that works for me. In the end, I walked away with 133,000 credits, 4,800 experience, and the same thing for my captain, who's slowly grinding up. And once this line changes, I don't know which one I'll go up. Eventually it will be both, but only time will tell with that. If you guys enjoyed this, consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. Both help keep me motivated, especially when I'm feeling a little sick like I have been today. And if you've got your own replays, I would love to see them and commentate them myself. Submit them to Qckslvrslash@gmail.com. Email address is up in my channel information. And as always, I'm Qckslvrslash, and I'll have another one for you guys later, assuming the plague doesn't kill me.